Very good morning to all of you. This is our SAS certification webinar for the APAC region, and the course that we are taking the certification webinar for today is Visual Business Analytics using SAS Via. My name is Ritu Gupta and I am Analytical Training Consultant at SAS. I have been with SAS for a little over 5 years now, and I train across all the analytics courses and SAS programming courses. A very warm welcome to all of you once again, and let's get started. First of all, we are going to talk about the importance of getting SAS certified. Once we are SAS certified, there is increased confidence. 92% of those who earn the SAS certification experience greater abilities when they are at work, and the confidence increased in their abilities because of course you have been through the course a couple of times, you have done the demos, you've done the practices a couple of times, you've taken a certification which is of a certain level in difficulty, you've cleared it, so of course you know the ins and outs of visual analytics, and you have that confidence that I can work with the application in depth and I can work with the application on my own. And this also leads to efficiency in the workplace. It has been found that 66% of the candidates with a SAS certification produce higher quality work. Of course, because you have been through all the documentation, you know where to seek for help, you are very familiar with the application like I mentioned, so definitely your efficiency does increase. Then you have that you are able to set yourself apart from others. Again, the survey showed that 81% of candidates have more confidence to explore new job opportunities because of a certification in hand. Further on, it is helping 64% of professionals who received a promotion or salary increase after achieving certification. They are being recognized as an expert in their field because of having the certification with them. The survey also showed that 32% of those who earned a SAS certification received a salary increase within 3 months of receiving their certifications. And it's very addictive, I can say it from my own experience. You do one certification and then you want to do another one, and then you want to do another one, seeing the benefits just like the ones that I have mentioned over here. Alright, so increased confidence, setting yourself apart from others, efficiency in the workplace, being recognized as an expert in the field, and higher salaries. Just talking about the features of badging, you have verified metadata you could use in your email signature, you can use it in your CV, you can share across social media, you can have a link for employer to verify your credentials. It offers better job opportunities, we have talked about it. You are able to showcase your skills with this digital badging. The digital badge can be showcased on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, via email, or any other social media. You're able to showcase your SAS talent to the global market, and real-time data is pulled from live job requisitions across 6 countries. Specific industries and employers demanding your credentials across the 6 countries can be seen, and you can then apply for those job opportunities that are easily accessible to you, and you have an edge over the others because of the certification, the SAS global certification in hand. So you see the merits in achieving a SAS global certification. Of course, like I mentioned, it is of a certain standard, it is of a certain difficulty level. We need to be well prepared for one when we attempt it, right? And that is why that is the purpose of today's webinar, to give you an insight into the in-depth study that you must do before you take up the certification. Also, we'll be sharing the resources that will help you prepare for your global certification in visual analytics. Digital badge, how do we get one? Okay, now that we have established that digital badge is going to enable us to showcase our abilities and also being able to pull out job opportunities, but how do we get a digital badge? Okay, so there are two digital badges that SAS offers. One is a learning badge and one is a certification clearing badge. So once you have completed a course with us, you get the learner's badge, which is green in color. And once you have successfully achieved a global certification, you have passed the global certification, you have achieved a score more than the pass set percentage, you get a blue colored global certification badge, and you will be required to first of all create an account on the Credly site 2 days after your course gets completed or 2 days after your global certification. At the most 2 days, I'm saying, you will be receiving your badge in your email account, which will be the one that with which you have registered on the Credly site, and you can then download it, you can claim it, you can start sharing it. Okay. Our partnership with Credly ensures your badges are verified in real time with metadata. What are the benefits of claiming your learner's badge and your global certification badge? The benefits include labor market insights that connect your new skills to jobs, trusted method for real-time verification. Employers can easily view candidates with certain SAS skills, global recognition of your hard-earned achievement. So these are the benefits for the blue certification badge. Learner's badge tells that you have attended the training from SAS accredited trainers. So the agenda for today is about the exam. We will cover exam content, recommended courses and review. We will talk about additional information, and lastly we will have a Q&A session. So exam details, all of this is also available on our SAS certification website. So exam details, the name of the exam is SAS Visual Analytics using SAS Via. The exam ID to register is A00-470. The exam ID must be correct. The exam is administered by SAS and Pearson VUE. 50 to 55 multiple choice and short answer questions will be given to you to answer. You will get 100 minutes to complete the exam. The passing score is 67%, which means you have to try and achieve more than 67% to get the global certification. Your certification expires after 5 years. Experience with SAS Visual Analytics, the SAS Via platform is acceptable for your exam preparation. The next we are picking up is exam content. Data sources and data items will compose 32 to 36% of your questions. 54 to 60% of your questions will be about using objects and building reports. 8 to 10% of the questions will be about viewing, sharing, and managing reports. This is telling me that I should be very familiar with all the objects, all the options, all the right clicks about the application. So just do a right click and see what all are the features of the application, or try and use all the objects on your canvas, do a combination, try and play around with the options, and see how your visualization is looking like. Definitely work towards seeing how you can share and manage your reports, build reports with different pages, linking reports, and then you have different objects like button bar, your slider, you have to create a filter, ranks. Do try and use both the panes, the left pane and the right pane thoroughly whilst you are practicing, because you will get questions, a lot of questions. And I just want to say one more thing, that you may have attended the course with SAS, and then what I want to emphasize is that you don't get chapter wise questions. Okay, you will get a question in which you will have to apply it as if it's an application. You will be using multiple objects, multiple concepts that you have learned in visual analytics to answer a single question. So it's not going to be chapter wise. Think of it as an application. Think of it that once you have cleared the global certification, you will be expected to create reports with certain objects, with certain features, certain dashboarding, certain filters, ranks, actions. So you have to think of it in totality, not in individual units or compartments when you are planning to study for your global certification. All right. If you have done only the basics course, I would highly recommend you do the advanced course as well to take your global certification, right? Also, the advanced course, like I said, to come across as efficient and confident and highly skilled with the application, you must go through the advanced course as well. It talks about the advanced features and does have advanced demos and practices that will help you with your real life works in terms of creating dashboards and reports. So highly recommend you do the advanced course as well. We had some participants who haven't attended either of the courses. If you would wish to take up the visual analytics application at work and be confident and get highly rated in its efficiency, it's highly recommended that you take up both the courses. Next, we are looking at recommended courses and review. The recommended courses are SAS Visual Analytics 1 for SAS via Basics. The course code is YVA142. The other course is SAS Visual Analytics 2 for SAS via Advanced. YVA242 is the course code. Now I'm sharing with you on the screen some useful links. I'll take you through each of these links as well. We have a link for downloading the sample questions. There are some additional resources. There is a practice exam for which you need to create a SAS profile, and you can take this practice exam any number of times, and there is no duration on it to finish. But however, I will recommend that you time yourself and take the exam in that duration of 100 minutes itself and do the practice exam, because it will give you an idea before your real exam. You would have done some hands-on in an environment which is exactly as the real exam. Because in the actual exam we have not only multiple choice questions in the terms of checking boxes or radio buttons, but we also have interactive questions, which means that a screen will be presented to you. You can be asked questions like, please use your mouse to click and tell us how would you enable this option. So the screen will be presented and you will have to use your mouse to click on that point of the screen which will enable that particular option. You will be asked questions like use your mouse to match between the two columns that have been provided to you. Similar questions, or you will be asked to move the options about, and many such questions like this. So you will be interacting with the screen. That is why please definitely take the practice exam. And also it will tell you the depth to which you should study your visual analytics application before you take your real global certification. We have a certification manager cert matrix login which you must create before you come for the global certification, and you have to bring in the username and password with which you have created your cert matrix login to log into your certification on the day. We have to study, like I mentioned, visual analytics in depth. So of course we have the course notes once you have taken the course, but I will also recommend you go through the SAS VA documentation on this link so that you know the final features of visual analytics and you may practice them on your application whilst you are preparing for your exam. Let us go through the sample questions. Which option is not found in the file specification section when importing a delimited text file? Specify the range of imported rows and columns is the right answer. Question 2. Which part of the user interface allows you to change the classification of a measure data item? So the correct answer is right-click the data item in the data pane and select convert to category. Now also please be careful, go through all the options. Sometimes we must read every option completely before choosing the right answer. Sometimes between the options there is a slight difference, okay, and if you just scan through the options without reading them in detail completely, you may mark the wrong answer. Then next question, which statements pertaining to multiple data sources in a report are true? Now it says choose two here, so you will have a checkbox and you will be able to mark your answers. You can also keep your answers for review later. If you're not sure of, then you can mark your answers for review and come back to them later. As far as possible, try and use your options. If you're not sure, then try and use the elimination method with the options and see which option matches closest to the question that has been given to you. Try and answer all the questions. Don't leave any question unanswered. You do have time, you have 100 minutes, and that is a lot of time for you to go through the questions that you have left for review. There is no negative marking whatsoever. So next we have a question like this. You will be getting questions like this also. Refer to the exhibit and then you will have a question. What must a report designer do to create this chart using automatic chart object? Here it says choose 3. And questions like this, further on you may go through the link for sample questions. Okay, but again please do the sample questions also, because this is again taking you through the application and helping you understand and learn the application better. On-demand webinar, how to prepare for the SAS Visual Business Analytics Certification. Let's click here. You may sign in over here, complete the form, sign in, and then you will be able to attend the webinar, and it says learn techniques, tactics and methods to help study and prepare for the exam. Feel more prepared to take the exam. So highly recommend this. We have something on for tips and strategies. This is SAS community. Some very interesting discussions happen here. This will also help you towards your certification. So it says here, as you prepare for your SAS Visual Analytics, we've got some pointers for you. You must go through this one, a video about importing data into visual analytics. We have practice exam coming up and exam content guide also I will show you, and these are the courses, basics and the advanced course that will help us with our study material for clearing the exam. Okay, Now let me take you to this video about importing. So this will definitely be helpful for your global certification. Please make sure that every link and every information that is being shared with you today, you are taking it in, and you going to use it and prepare from it for your exam. Now, exam content guide. This is your exam content guide. These are the topics listed, and we get questions from these topics that have been listed here. Okay, so I'll go through with you. So it says very clearly data sources and data item 20 to 25%. What all do you have to study under this heading? Import data, import local data, import server data, differentiate between local and server data imports, examine, modify, and create data items. Take a look at all of this. Create custom sorts, distinct counts, aggregate, measure, calculated items, hierarchies, custom categories, parameterized data items, item properties, and measure details. You have to go through and practice each of the single bullet point. You must know all the properties, all the options, everything that you can do with each of these objects. How do they look like once displayed on the report? If a report is presented to you, you can be asked in both ways: adding an object to the report, or showing you the report and asking you what object is this, right? And showing a report to you and asking you how was this report, how was this object created, what were the options used, what were the measures and categories, data items used to create this object. So it can work both ways. All 12 main objectives will be tested on every exam. The expanded objects are provided for additional explanation and define the entire domain that could be tested. So you have to use each of these bullet points while studying, and make sure you know them exceptionally thoroughly. It's a very easy exam to clear provided you're well prepared for it. This is the practice exam. It says your free SAS certification practice exams. So I'm going to scroll down and come to Visual Analytics. I have got the first one, SAS Visual Analytics using SAS Wire. I'll click on that. I have to enter my SAS profile. Let me also take you to the tab where I'm going to create a SAS profile in case you don't already have one. Here, this is a form. We enter our preferred language, first name, last name, your email ID, country, region, affiliation with SAS. You can choose as appropriate for yourself, an organization or university. And then you can definitely check box I agree to the terms and conditions, and you may not do the first two, that's up to you. And then finally click on create profile. Once you do that, you will get an email to the mentioned email ID, and you will then be asked to activate your profile and create a password. You will use that SAS profile to log in and access the practice exam. I use my SAS profile to log in, and I will be able to access my practice exam. And then after logging in, click on yes, I accept the license agreement, and click on submit. Once I click on submit, I'm shown my Visual Analytics practice exam, and then I click on enroll. This is how the screen looks like, and my practice exam is the link is placed here. I click on the link and it says attempt quiz now. So I get all the questions, and the answers, whatever I'm marking, keep appearing here. And then I'll say finish attempt. Once I finish attempt, I have to scroll down and say submit all and finish attempt. I can take the practice exam, any number of times, and there is no time limit on it. But like I mentioned, take it once we are prepared for it, so that we make good use of it, and take it in the time span of 100 minutes. Okay. And then submit all and finish, and you will get the results for your practice exam. And we have the certification manager. wherein we have to create our login, which I will use on the day of my exam, my user ID and password. Alright, so let's take a look. So this is the one that we need to register ourselves. This is the VA documentation in detail for all the features. Please take a look at this and make sure you've been through it. This is the page that has all these links which I have kept separately for you, and you can go through this page because this page also talks about some books in case you want to go through those books. Right here, SAS Visual Analytics for SAS Via, Insightful Data Visualization with SAS Via, Smart Data Discovery using SAS Via, Powerful Techniques for Deeper Insights. We have download sample questions, additional resources, training, practice exam, all of that which I have kept as separate links is all listed here. And so we have the training. If you are wanting to get trained in it before you take the global certification, you can click on these links here. Okay, you have to of course enroll yourself, and we have live class schedules listed out. This is for Visual Analytics 2. There we are. Alright, so all links have been shared with you. Short review. As we know, review is a small percentage equaling a little more than half of the total, but yeah, it's a short review on visual analytics given the time constraints that we have. So sharing with you some sample questions, which is not one of the tabs on the left hand bar within SAS Visual Analytics. So we have objects, outline, data, filter. On the left side, we don't have filter. What is the default aggregation for measured data items? Default aggregation for measured data items is sum. Given the values of start date and today's date, select the proper option to create a new data item called years of employment. So we will be using a calculated item. So here they can give you a mouse click and they'll say click on that item. So you will have to click on calculated item. So like I mentioned, the question format, you will have activities, you will have fill in the blanks, you will have multiple choice, multiple answer questions, simulated, interactive question, and you should time yourself in a way that you have 1 or 2 minutes on average to complete the questions and activities so that you have some time left for the review. Additional information, SAS certification website. Remember to check the SAS certification website prior to taking the exam for up-to-date information. Very important, exam integrity and authorized study materials. Please use only SAS provided links, SAS provided course materials for the preparation of your global certification. Now, global certification is monitored very closely when the answers are entered, and the performance is looked at very closely, monitored very closely. So I would be very careful of not to take any help from anybody who has already taken the exam, not asking questions from them, or not trying to pick up any reading material which claims that it is going to help you with the global certification. Please be mindful of the exam integrity, and exam integrity protects the credibility of your credential. Candidates are expected to follow exam rules and guidelines. Only use SAS authorized study materials. This is because SAS certifications are valuable and must be earned fairly. Avoid any materials that are claiming real exam questions, guaranteed pass or dumps. And if you have any doubts, please rely on resources from SAS. I have covered and shared with you all of them. Communities you can write to, Okay, you have the webinar that you can go through. I've shared the links for the quick tutorials, the importing of the SAS local files, and also then we have other the course material itself. Okay, then the only study material which contains questions that can be considered authorized by SAS are those that are linked to www.sas.com/certification. For a specific list of preparation materials by exam, visit the SAS exam prep page. And if you are unsure of the legitimacy of the study material, you can email Global Certification Program at certification@sas.com. Once you clear your global certification, you will get a screen like this, and you will get it once you have completed your exam, which gives you a pass score and an analysis of your performance across the different sections. Then you will be able to get your certification badge in your Credly account, which you will have to then go and claim. The certification badge looks like this. If you pass your exam and meet all requirements for this credential, you receive an email from SAS with instructions providing access to your certificate and logo. These emails are sent to the email address provided at exam registration. Alright, and you have to allow at least 1 week from your exam date to receive your email. For some reason, if you did not clear the exam, you can take 5 attempts in a 12-month period. A candidate has to wait for a minimum of 14 calendar days between attempts. Exams that do not comply with the retake examination policy will be considered invalid. Exam retakes require payment of the full exam fee and are not discounted. So very careful when you take your first exam. Before the exam, any advice? Yeah, you're looking for? Yes, practice answering the questions under limited conditions. Read the exam directions carefully. Arrive early to the exam and take a moment to relax. Listen attentively to the instructions given by the staff. Determine a plan for how you will use the allotted exact time. During the exam, read each question carefully and thoroughly. Pace yourself so that you can answer every question. Leave no question unanswered. Eliminate unlikely options first. Formulate your answer before reading the options. And during the exam, don't be afraid to change your answers. Return to difficult questions that you marked. Don't be discouraged if you can't answer a question. Plan to finish early and have time for review. Skip questions that you cannot answer and mark them for later. We'll do a little hands-on. I'm going to explore and visualize. New report. Now this is my left pane and this is my right pane. On my left pane, I have data, I have objects, I have outline, I have suggestions, I have report review. On the right side, I have options, roles, actions, display rules, filter, and ranks. Okay. So if I have to add data, or let's take a look at this item here. I can add data, import data, new data from join. In one report, I can have multiple pages. In a page, I can have multiple objects. In one object, I can use one data source. Another object, I can use another data source. If I want the two objects to talk to each other, I'll have to map the two data sources. To map the two data sources, there has to be one common column between them. Now let me see if I can add a data. I add data and I will look for inside toy. I'll search this data. I have inside toy company. I'll select this data. I can simply click on add. Now the data has been added to my report. The data items have been classified or placed under two headings. One is category and one is measure. Category is character data, right? And if I see facility followed by 127, this indicates I have 127 distinct values of facility. Facility continent, I have 6 distinct values of facility continent. Then I have date. This is date, facility opening date. There are 19 values and this is indicating they are in the format MMDD YYYY. If I want to change the format, I simply click on the arrow and go to the format and click on the edit. I can change my format to any of the formats that are available here. So if I change it to month, for example, and I'll say okay. Now see this, the facility opening date, the number of distinct values has changed to 1 from 19. I'll go to measure, for example, and in measure, for if I wanted to change any of the measures are all numeric values. If for example I wanted to change the measures to category, right, what would I do? I would take a look here. I have classification. I can change to category geography. Okay. Now, why do I need geography? In case I want to make a geographic map. Okay. I will be able to have my latitude and longitude change from measure to geography. The aggregated measure frequency percent is always available by default. Now let us take a look at the objects. Crosstab, list table, bar chart, they are very important objects that are used a lot in the reports and therefore you should be very thorough with them. If I, for example, want crosstab, I'll double click crosstab and then it will ask me to assign data. I can click on assign data and I can choose. So measures is the mandatory data item for my crosstab. Measures has a red star on it indicating it's the mandatory data item. So all for your objects, you should also know which are the mandatory data items. So if measures is my mandatory data item, and let us say if I pick a facility page, I'm just doing these at random just to show you how we are going to be playing around with the objects, just trying to do that with you. And then let us say that if I want some columns, I can choose my columns. I can choose facility continent, for example, and then I have rows. Let me see, what do I want to put in my rows? I'll put facility city, let's say, for example, and you can also create a hierarchy. So if I go here and I'll say new data item, I can create a hierarchy. I can create a custom category, calculated item, geography item, parameter. These are very important for your exam. Now let us say if I want to create a hierarchy, I'll create a hierarchy with facility continent at the top, so that goes in first, followed by facility country at the next level and facility region further down. Alright, and I'll say okay to this. Right. So we have to play around with all the objects. So like for example, you come to bar chart and in bar chart you have group, lattice column, lattice rows, data type, values, category, measure. You'll have to play around with all of them. Then similarly you have correlation matrix, right? In the correlation matrix you are assigning some measures: customer satisfaction, facility age, facility efficiency, product material. This will very easily tell you what is the correlation between the different measures, okay? And the darkest color has the highest correlation. So here, facility efficiency and customer satisfaction have the highest correlation. It is also telling you it is a negative correlation, which is given by the negative sign. The value of the correlation has already been given to you as 0.3303. Then we have more data objects. I'm just going to go through with you very quickly. Gauge. In case of gauge, what is my mandatory data item? Measure. What are the different types of gauges that are available? So if I go to options, where is the title coming from? Automatic title. Can I change it? I can change it. What is the name of the object? Gauge 1. Whatever I'm doing here alongside, if I go to my outline, everything is being listed out here. Can I move objects from one page to the other using outline? Yes, I can do that. Okay. Can I move objects from one page to the other by clicking on the object? I can. So it says right click and it will say move to whichever page you want to move it to. Right? You want to rename a page, click on the three dots, you can rename a page. You want to hide a page, you want to duplicate a page, you can do any of that. You can limit visibility to specified users. You can also click here and do expand page controls, and the three dots here enable you to export the report, expand page report controls, and all page controls. So your page controls can be expanded at two places, at the page one with the three dots, at the report level with the three dots. Okay, you can distribute the report, you can localize the report, and you can export, you can share, you can view the report. Okay, when you're sharing the report, you're sharing the report as an email, and only the people who have been given the access will be able to see the report. Okay, now we were looking at the gauge. Okay, so the options, gauge, under options, change the shape from dial, which you see at the moment. The other are arc, half dial, full dial, horizontal linear, vertical linear. So if you see something like this in your report, therefore the object question, the question could be which object is this? It's a gauge. Then we have heat map, and questions like heat map is used when the cardinality is very high. Scatter plot is used when the cardinality is low. Under automatic charts, you have key value, assign data to key value. For example, I've assigned facility age. It's appearing like this, and if you are going to take a look at the other infographic, the stylus text, if you make it infographic, it's got a circle around it. So you can be given an object like this in your report or on your page. Sometimes they give you a couple of objects on the page and you can be asked that how many objects are there on the page. Similarly, do try other objects like line chart, needle plot. You have to try all the objects. I am try to tell you how you can explore the different options, the right clicks for page level, report level objects, and play around with them to get familiar with the different features of visual analytics that are there. We have tree map, waterfall chart, word cloud, geo maps, pie charts. Control must know all the different properties of these: button bar, drop down list, slider, text input. And under analytics also we will cover automated explanation, automated prediction, forecasting, network analysis, path analysis, text topics, all the containers, precision container, prompt container, scrolling container, stacking container, standard container. Content is very important. So image, data driven content, web content. So that's all you have to do. You don't have to go further beyond statistics. You have to just go up to content, and you have to know all of them in detail, and you should have practiced them a couple of times, and you have to know all the options. Some controls don't fit in some containers. You have to know all of that. And our course material gives a demo and practice opportunity in detail for all of this, right? So our course material is very well designed for the same. If you have been through a course, you will know that our course material is very well designed to cover all of these objects in great detail. Let's do a few more demos. I'll take up a simple one. Let's take a bar chart because we are all familiar with bar chart, and let us assign data to it. Okay. So of course bar chart is for category type of data item. So I'm going to take facility continent. The measure frequency has got added automatically. Let's take a look how this is looking. So these are the 6 continents, and this is the frequency of occurrence over here in my data set. So North America frequency, Europe, and so on. Okay, now if I want to go to data roles, I will go to group. Okay, and let us take product brand as group. Okay, now take a look at how my bar chart is looking like. Okay, over here at the bottom it says product brand, novelty, and toy. Novelty is blue and toy is orange. So in North America the frequency for novelty and for toy, okay, and this is using product brand and group. Then we have again you will get a question like this. For example, you'll be shown this page or this object, and you will be asked which data item is sitting on the group, which is sitting in the category. So if you're familiar with how the bar chart looks like when bar category and group data items have been used, you will be able to answer it. Next, what we're going to use is lattice columns. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to take product line as lattice columns and see how my bar chart now looks like. So you've got these lines for each of the product lines. Okay. So you've got your product lines here and your bar charts with the grouping and the lattice columns being the product line. If I want, I can use lattice rows also. So I'll remove product line from lattice columns. In lattice rows, I can add product line. Let's apply that. This is how my bar chart is going to look like, lines across. Now let's see the data. Tip values is automatically picked up: product line, product brand, frequency, facility, continent. Next, what we can also show you is if I go to options, then what happens? We can see the grouping style. I have at the moment put clustered. We can have the stacked grouping style. Okay. So if I put it as a stacked grouping style, I will take away the lattice rows. So see now I'm getting stacked bar charts. Okay, one more thing I wanted to show you. Here in the display actual values, you also have the other option, normalize groups to 100%. So if I do this is very good for comparison. This is group scale, normalize groups to 100%. You can put data labels like this. You can put segment labels, so you will get values inside the bars. Yeah, you have the reference line. So just an example I took in detail for bar chart, doing all the options and the data roles. Okay, like I mentioned, this is really a review class, not a whole big session here. So that is why. Okay, but you get an idea, you get a fair amount of idea about the features of the application and how much in depth you have to go and study for your exam. Now we have the discussion Q&A session. Any questions you may have? How Python can be useful in data visualization with combining SAS. What we have is a provision wherein we integrate open source with SAS, and that is a separate course. When we are talking about the global certification, in our course we are not talking about Python integration with SAS in Visual Analytics. And the next question for exam retakes within 12 months. How soon can we take the retakes? You have to give a gap of 15 days. 15 days gap and you can take the next exam. How can we apply for this exam? You have to just write to apaceducation@sas.com. They will help you with how to apply for this exam. May I know if you will provide this training and how many months to take? Yes, SAS provides this training. You will have to write to apaceducation@sas.com stating which country you are in, and they will help you with the training slots that are available. And this training should not take more than a month. So 1 week for the first part, 1 week for the second part, and whatever the training schedules are available, they will help you with it. Okay, if you do have any further queries, you may write to apaceducation@sas.com. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. Thank you for your time today, and see you in the near future in the classes. Bye, and all the very best for your certifications. Bye bye. Take care.